For me, entrepreneur is a go-getter, someone who's building their own future, trying to set up the future for their family, for their children, building their own vision. To build something for myself, for my family, for my children coming behind me. I want to leave a legacy.
It's really just a decision you have to make if you want to be an entrepreneur. You have the opportunity, but you have to give up things you like. You have to give up watching TV. You have to give up some of the other luxurious things you want to do. So like that's the answer. If you took 2 hours a day out of what you're doing now and you just put it into doing something to build your future every single day, like look back in 60 days and tell me what you have. You're probably gonna have a good business idea and you'll be ready to go. But it takes that 2 hours every single day. To me, people don't want to make that commitment, and I think that's why that's their barrier.
I work for a company currently, and I see someone getting rich, and I would like to work for myself and build my own.
First time I went into business, I didn't charge as much. Okay, I made it up. The next time, guess what? I made it up because I learned. So there's things that you have to do. You have to fail, and you have to fail fast.
I tell everybody that wants to start their own business, first of all, do it. Just flat out do it. As hard as it is to get started, it doesn't matter. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in your idea, if you believe in your product,
the first question I would ask is, what's taking you so long? For you guys who make it $95,000, $500,000, that's your cap. That's your cap. Regardless of what you make, that's your cap. There's somebody telling you when to get to work, when not to get to work, when to go home, and all that kind of good stuff. Take the cap off your life.
How you doing? My name is Twan Maddox, 37 years old, aspiring entrepreneur. I'm currently building a commercial cleaning company. The name of my business is Maddox Group Commercial Cleaning. Well, my start is going to be small businesses, small office buildings, small doctor's offices, dentist office, things of those natures. And
My name is Brian Tutt. I'm 40 years old. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Started working with Red Bull after college here, launched Red Bull back in 2001. That went great. Moved on to Boston where I did more work with Red Bull, but went on with a distributor. From there, moved to New York City. Started working with a startup in sales, worked my way up the company to being all the way up to new business development. Had an opportunity really to start my entrepreneurial journey about 5 years into my New York career, and I was approached by an investment company who wanted me to work with them, and that relationship ended up working out where they wanted me to be CEO of a company. So it involved me moving back here to Detroit, and that's really how my entrepreneurial journey started. And from there, I've done several things, just learning and being a serial entrepreneur.
My name is John Cromer. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in business for 33 years. I started my company from scratch in 1982, working out of my mother's basement. It was a small janitorial firm. I actually started working with a firm first called City Building Maintenance. I worked with those guys for a couple of years, and after working with them for a couple of years, I realized that I can probably do that and maybe more for myself. And so I turned that corner probably in 1985, maybe 84. I've been doing this ever since.
I'm Mary Harvin with You Drink I Make. I am the mobile bartending service. We do signature beverages, social media, and mobility where everything collides.
What is an entrepreneur to me? An entrepreneur to me is a risk taker.
Definition of entrepreneur would be someone who works hard to try to kick their business off into this world. Like, You have to live, eat, sleep, breathe your business.
A go-getter, someone who's building their own future, trying to set up the future for their family.
That's a person that maybe had a job with someone else at one time, but realized that he'd rather take the chance of making his own way himself than relying on somebody else to tell him what to do, when to do, and actually how much money he's going to make on a regular basis.
It's not, oh, I work on my business from 8 to 5 and that's it. If you got to work on it from 8 to 8, 8 to 12, then that's what you got to do, because if you don't put the effort in, nobody else will. People give what they see. You got to put the input in to get the output.
I got 12 brothers and sisters, not a lot of money growing up. General assistance, food stamps, all that kind of good stuff. Didn't want that for myself afterwards. And so my ultimate goal was to make sure that that didn't happen to me. And obviously, through the grace of God, it did not happen.
Most people have very high goals, but the effort they put into the business is what they think it should be. And my thing is, if you think it takes this much effort and it really takes this much effort, are you willing to stop here because you thought this is all you needed to do?
But I'm skilled first and foremost. I'm educated first and foremost. I'm extremely determined. And I also kind of got a good judge of character for people as well, who can help and who can't help. I think a key thing to being successful in any business is surround yourself with some people that are as motivated and as smart as you are.
I wanted a better paying bartender job, so I was building a portfolio of drinks that I wanted to give to employers to make me look like a better bartender. From the pictures, I ended up making a website, and from the website is how my business started.
My name is Ronier, but folks know me from the music world as DJ Babe. So the company I have is Motor City Popcorn, which I started in 2012. So I've been doing it 5 years now. And we just getting there. I mean, it started off on the stove, inside my mama's house, and all the way to a storefront in Cobo Hall, to doing many events around the city, and pretty soon opening up a retail store in Fraser. I was actually sitting on the porch, and I had been thinking for like over a year of getting into the popcorn business, and I was experimenting at home. I thought, making cheese popcorn, you just buy some cheese and melt it, and everything was just coming out wrong. So I was on the porch one day, just pulled my credit card out, went online, and bought some equipment.
My name is Dr. Stephanie Barrage. I am currently the assistant superintendent at Wayne RESA. I own two businesses of my own. One is called Academic Redesign Solutions. It is an educational firm where I consult across the United States. And then I also have Queendom Living, which is related to my book. And as you can tell, my shirt, Queendom Living, it is about the empowerment of women.
My name is Dr. Kwanda Johnson. I am a dentist. I'm a native Detroiter, born and raised here. Went to Castech High School, University of Detroit Mercy. I'm locally grown entrepreneur. I opened my practice in 2001.
I decided to take advantage of an offer this one company gave me, which was a startup. They were gonna make me CEO, but give me percentage, so I got excited. And things, of course, like usual, don't go always according to plan, but I learned a lot, and it helped me start my business. And I realized that what I wanted to do was help other entrepreneurs grow their business. So I would come on board with them, work with them, help them build their marketing, help them build their sales, get them into whatever they do, a sales or service, push them out more, and help them develop a business plan so that way if they need to raise capital, they can. And so that's kind of what I started out doing. It worked great for a couple of years. I met a lot of people and made a lot of great contacts, but most importantly, I was doing what I liked, so I enjoyed every minute of it.
My particular business, I own my building, so I bought my practice from another dentist who retired. So I had to buy that piece, the practice piece, the patients and the equipment and all that, and I also purchased the building. So, it was a lot of things that went into that.
When you start talking about pros and cons of being an entrepreneur, I think the pros are you are in control of your own destiny.
Anytime, to see a vision you have and an idea you have to actually come and become real, I mean, that's a pleasure in itself.
I'm at home with my children, so I don't have to always say, Mommy's gotta go to work, Mommy's gotta go to work. That conversation is over.
The freedom of being able to make their own decisions for my company. I will be able to decide how we do things, when we do things, and why we do things. And I will have the method and reasoning to why we're doing that, and I'm looking forward to that most.
If you're anybody in this society, we're always in search of control. We think that we can always do it just a little bit better than the person that did it before us. That control is a major, factor for me because it allows me to be free. And what I mean by free to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I know I got responsibilities and I handle my responsibilities well, but it gives me the freedom to raise my kids, to be a good husband to my wife.
But I still have to balance the time that I put into my business, that I put into my husband, and how I put into my family, like my children. Like they still have to be nurtured, they still have to be fed, they still want to play, they still want to talk.
Just to be a good son to my mother. It gives me the freedom to do a lot of things. The cons of it is that, as you continue to grow, if you aren't wise enough to put the right people in place, then you can get bogged down too, because there's always something to do, every single day.
Not, what everybody assumes when you're trying to run a business, because there are things that come before you, period. If you're a good business owner. Now, you can take all the money and run, but how long are you going to last if you want to establish yourself?
The reality is most people aren't willing to put what it actually takes. There's the amount of work you think it takes, and then there's the amount of work it actually takes.
Every time I sell a new job, every time I buy a new house, every time I rent that house out, that's an increase in salary for me. That means nobody controls what I make. When I was working at this company a long time ago, I think I made probably $35,000 a year. And back then, that was pretty decent cash. But that was a long time ago. $35,000, I don't think I'm not going to do it for $35,000 now. It's a great deal more than $35,000.
You will encounter everything that you can imagine. But the ones that are going to be the most impactful are going to be the lack of support that you think should come from your loved ones. And that's when you really need to look inside and say, I'm doing this for me, and I believe in this, so I want to do it.
And here's what a lot of people do. We like to go to our friends because that's who we're comfortable with. Your friends are your cheerleaders. But you have to expand your network to another group of other business people to learn what they're doing. And then you can say, oh, this is what they've learned. Here's what I know. This is what I need to do.
And when you think of it that way, you will still want the support from your loved ones, but you don't need it as much. You're not tied into their support. And that way you're not spending energy thinking, oh man, they should be doing this or they should be doing that. And in fact, if you have one thought like that, deal with it once and then get rid of that thought.
I got a girlfriend who really, she should have her own business. I have begged her. Her pastries are phenomenal. People buy them. She can't make the jump. She just is struggling making the jump of, and literally I've set her up in two places to say, here, these people want you to come make your pastries and just make some cards. She can't do it. She can't see beyond the fear of she can't see beyond herself. And so you also have to know, you have to be able to believe in yourself that you can make mistakes. You're not going to be perfect.
I remember going to several of my colleagues asking them about the IRS. I was like, how do you pay your taxes? Because this is crazy talk, And they said, well, I just do. It took me several tries, several people to kind of tap on the shoulder before they set you down and they said, hey, this is how I do it.
Contracts, finding the right wording, finding the correct way to come up with a billing method for my clients, finding a way to come up with proper pricing for my clients as well. So the research that comes along with things like that, that's really been the biggest hurdle so far.
So for me, I haven't had an actual 9-to-5 job in 14 years. Actually, the last job I had ended June 9th, 2003. But even before that, truth be told, a job where you have to actually walk in, hit the time clock or whatever, and look at your schedule, this, I haven't had that since 2001. So for me, I worked in the music industry. So there were times I worked from Arista Records, MCA Records, WJLB radio station, WDET radio station, or I was subcontracted to do street promotion work from labels. So the last job I had was MCA Records.
I have rearranged everything. My spending habits have had to change. There is no check at the end of the week. There are no tips. I can just pick up a shift. None of that exists. I'm completely out here on my own. So my spending is a little more wise, my saving is a little more wise because I still have to take care of a family. At the end of the day, if I'm trying to reach this goal or not, I still have to provide for them right now.
Present job market of today, actually, I read this morning that unemployment was at the lowest that it's been in 15 years. I mean, I hate to have it happen while Orange Man is in office, So, but right now, I have to say there are plentiful jobs. I also read a story last night where there's so many jobs that can't be filled because people can't pass drug tests or people are not skilled laborers.
When you go to Ford Motor Company, they ask you to work 10 hours a day, 4 days a week or whatever. And sometimes they have you work, 10 hours for the first 2 days and then 10 hours for the second, and you work in 2 different shifts. I think that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But that's what they require of you. The time is an investment. When you invest the time into your business, it's an investment. It's going to pay off afterwards. For those folks that get involved in this business looking to make a lot of money, there's opportunities that without it up there to make a lot of money. But a fool and his money will soon part company.
You do have to fight fear, and that's what a lot of people get fearful of. Is this going to work? And so that's one of the reasons why I did not quit my job and why I still continue to work, because if something doesn't mesh in either of the businesses, then I still have my day job to cover my expenses until maybe a payment comes in. And I'll give an example. I was working with the district and they actually didn't pay me for 6 months. And I wasn't stressed because I still had my day job that was paying my bills. So by the time they paid it, I'm fine. But I've seen enough companies and I've seen companies go under because maybe the company didn't pay them. And so they couldn't go 6 months without pay. Whereas for my company, I can go 6 months because I already have a check coming in and all my bills are getting paid. So I tell people you really have to be very careful around. It's not that you don't want to be independent in your own business, because you do, that's always the goal. But until you know you're really ready, and I would say ready is about having 50,000. If you've got about 50,000 and you could cover if a crisis happened, you could still maintain, then you could say, I can leave my day job. But if not, no, you need to have something to cover your bills in case if a crisis happens and you can maintain.
But a fool and his money will soon part company. If you're not serious about the money, it can get you in trouble. I can recall a long time ago, the story I tell everybody that's just trying to get into business. There was a time that I had, I got these clients, I got all these employees, and we're working on a regular basis. And I do my payroll, and at the end of the month, there was $4,000 left in the account. This is probably 25 years ago. And I realized then I didn't pay somebody's money. Somebody's check, somebody's supplies I didn't pay for. So what I had to do, I figured I would hold this money till the following month, because whoever it was would call, request their money, not have it before to give it to them. And so the following month, there was another $4,000 in the account. It took me that much time to realize that I was making $4,000 a month profit.
You have to be trustworthy. You have to be loyal to your craft and to your people. And you have to, run an honest business. And so you have to do whatever needs to be done first in your back burner, for sure.
Think of, how do I do this with the kids? They are part of it as well. So there's things that I may need in the business. Guess what? I'm teaching them. I may pay them to do certain things for me. So they become employees of the business. Or I have mentors or girls that I'm mentoring in the Queendom Living side. And so they may help me with social media because I'm interning. I'm teaching them while I'm growing as well. My
sons get a chance to work with their dad and not work for somebody else. They get a chance to see firsthand what it's like to be an entrepreneur and to be in control of their own destiny. They'll be the first generation in my family, in my immediate family, not just my family, but my other brothers and sisters that have the opportunity to work for themselves from the very onset. And that's a rare, rare commodity in our community.
I would advise anybody who's going to any type of business to join every organization possible. Black Haircutters of America, nail shops of the U.S., whatever conglomerate you can join, because there's always a wealth of knowledge. People are willing to share with you the things that they've done, how they've gone about it. And, you just need to put your boots down and learn, and be willing to fail.
I took classes with a program called SCORE. And it's like maybe $10, $15 a class or something like that. Then I went to Build Institute. And I took that class. Then I went to Launch Detroit, and I joined Food Lab Detroit. And I started associating myself with different organizations from the DEGC and Open City and things of that. And then the last one, Tech Town. So I did all these things to learn the game, to learn what's going on. Most of the classes taught you about a business plan. I thought at first, I'm like, yeah, I can write a business plan. But when I sat in the class, it was like, oh, okay, well, oh, you do it like this, you add this to it. And I learned more. And it was a time when I thought I knew about, how to keep records or financials. I took the class, was like, oh, this is how you do this. So I definitely learned more.
Make sure I encourage everyone that and let you know that entrepreneurism is doable. It's something that takes a lot of hard work, but if you have the right plan and you give it the appropriate attention and you find something that you really care about, you can start to build something that eventually can eliminate your need to make money traditionally. And that's just the way it is. So continue to put forth the effort. Don't let the obstacles stop you, because that's what they are, obstacles. Don't let them stop you. If you keep doing that, you'll be in good shape.
To anybody out there who is thinking about being an entrepreneur, follow your dreams. Don't listen to anyone else. Follow your dreams, follow your heart, work hard, and give it your 110% and do you.
If you're looking to be an entrepreneur, you just have to do it. You cannot have fear. If you have to fail fast in whatever it is that you're doing, there's nothing wrong with failing as you're learning, because that is where you're going to have your best lessons. Everything is not going to be perfect. You have to be able to say, if you've got a dream in your heart, go do it. Don't let anyone get in the way of that dream. Have people that you talk to. Have a network of people that are not just your base friends. Your friends are your cheerleaders. Have a network of people who are doing the work that you want to do, that you can access and have conversations with. You want to be able to give it all. It's going to be a lot of work, but you can do it. Write out your thoughts and what you would like to do. Have a plan in place and set goals. Set 3-month goals, 6-month goal, 8-month goals, and then a 12-month goal. And then you're gonna keep looking at your goals to see, what did I reach? What do I need to do to adjust so that I can get to my next level of accountability for each set of goals that I set? If you do that, trust me, your business is going to take off and you're going to do fine. And if something doesn't do well, then go back, recenter yourself, and figure out what you need to do to move forward to get to the next place.
Get over your fears. Never quit. Don't listen to the naysayers. Be self-motivated. It's up to you. If you are the entrepreneur, if you are the one with a dream, if you are the one with a passion, then it is up to you. You have to get up early. You have to stay late. And I believe the phrase goes that successful people make it a habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people refuse to do. Simple as that.
Definitely. Follow your dream. Be passionate about it. You gotta put 3 feet into it. As I said, you cannot kind of straddle the fence. You gotta jump into this, and you have to be real. You can't be scared to take chances. If you got $100 in your pocket, you gotta spend 101 to make this happen. You gotta get out there and do it. Only you can fulfill the dream that you want to do. Other people can help you, but nobody has the vision that you have. So get out there, do it. Don't be scared. Make it happen. And again, educate yourself on any and everything you're getting into.
For anyone who's looking to be an entrepreneur, make sure you go for it. Make sure you reach for your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. Don't let no job stop you from doing it. They're making their money. They're gonna have their money. You need your money, so you need to do what you need to do to make your own money. That's my advice. Do what you need to do to make your own money. Don't count on the 401k. Don't count on these jobs. Don't count on Social Security. It's not gonna be there. Get you a job, be an entrepreneur, get you a business. Take care of yourself and your family.